Hi, my name is Lupe Valtierra Prieto.
I'm Kels Cook.
Helen Huang.
Sunshine Jung.
And the award I received was the Martin and Ann Jugum.
The Martin and Ann Jugum.
Martin and Ann
Jugum Scholarship
in Labor Studies.
My name is Daniela Murguia.
Suyang Her.
And I received the Frank Jenkins
Junior Fellowship.
My name is Daniela Murguia.
Kass Wolcott.
Anna Nguyen.
Jennifer M.
And I received the Lera Bassett Scholarship.
The Gundlach Scholarship in Labor Studies.
The Martha H. Duggan Fellowship in Caring Labor.
The Silme, Domingo, and Viernes Scholarship.
Advocating for the safety of workers and fair wages is really important to me because I understand the severity of these circumstances on workers and their families.
I'm invested in the intersection of labor and immigrant justice and supporting other folks see themselves as part of the bigger labor movement.
Right now, we are neglecting our most marginalized workers, including incarcerated workers, independent contractors, formerly incarcerated workers, sex workers. Like, if we leave people behind, then everybody will suffer.
Specifically, disability and reproductive justice go hand in hand, and they are often the first to go in labor negotiations.
The anti-capitalist politic of disability justice believes there is a need to shift our perspective from viewing people as commodities to recognizing our intrinsic humanity.
I struggled myself with some mental health issues, and I saw my father struggle with that, and I think that's something for undocumented communities in the labor movement.
The labor of caring, or at least in the healthcare field, it's known as informal caregiving or family caregiving, is often an issue that's overlooked.
As an undocumented immigrant myself, my experiences through the education system and my parents' experiences of lack of access to secure and non-exploitative employment made me realize that systems were built to exploit us.
I want to empower the female and the immigrant worker because they are exploited in more than one way.
Housing is a side of struggle that's deeply connected to what's going on at the workplace. Cost of housing is a significant expense for many workers, and tenants are often displaced from their homes by means of eviction, landlord harassment, or inadequate living conditions.
It not only divides the movement, but then it also discourages sort of thinking outside of the union box, or thinking outside of the way that we have been thinking about labor for the last 100 years.
The work and tasks performed are often unpaid, and people think about these acts of labor as, just helping a family member or as an act of love, but there's a lot of evidence to show that there are short run as well as downstream effects of caregiving.
Our collective power and solidarity is how we can build life-affirming institutions.
Our strength lies in numbers because we can't fight these systems on our own.
Workers coming together and unifying as a collective is far larger and more powerful than oppressive systems that were made to exploit us.
Working collectively is how we can look out for each other and ourselves to ensure that everyone has the means to lead happy and healthy lives.
I've always been interested in making change so others don't have to struggle like I did.
We are the backbone of our communities, and we deserve a world where our rights and dignity are not only recognized, but boldly centered.
By coming together and learning about each other's struggles, we can achieve so much more than what we can do individually.
One of the inspiring things about the labor movement is that it can bring so many different people together, and that it's essentially a bottom-up organizing structure.
These experiences, they informed my commitment to labor advocacy and anti-racist education freedom work.
By centering disability and reproductive justice within labor movements, I think that is how we make sure that everyone in our communities has what they need.
I believe that we can dismantle systemic barriers and create environments that prioritize the inherent value and worth of every human being.
There's a lot of work that's already been done to highlight the intersection between housing and labor struggles, and it's important to continue building solidarity moving forward.
It's important to me that more people feel ownership over the labor movement and feel equipped to create change on their own terms.
The hope is to bring accessible abortion health services to campus health centers in Washington State, and this award will allow me to focus all of my resources on that. It goes a long way towards allowing me to focus on organizing. This fellowship will provide funding for me to attend conferences and present my research to a broader audience, and make it possible to publish in open access journals so that the evidence can be accessible to a wide audience.
This scholarship enables me to continue my research on housing and labor in the United United States, in addition to the organizing I'm doing in the broader Seattle area.
Receiving funding from the Silme, Domingo, and Viernes scholarship will help me be able to fund my master's in education. I plan to utilize the skills that my master's program will provide me to further pursue anti-racist systems change within education and within employment accessibility for undocumented individuals.
I'm really eager to continue my research on the cultural production of workers in the Filipinx diaspora and studying how their strategies building communities and solidarities solidify their politics and emphasize their voices. And one day I hope to be able to use my scholarship to inspire young activists and students who are becoming interested in studying race, labor, and Asian American studies.
I hope to finish up my bachelor's and then go on to graduate school. I would be the first in my family to go to graduate school.
Because of this scholarship, I'm so excited that I'll have the opportunity to finish up my studies this year and go on to engage in justice-oriented work in our communities.
I'm hoping to develop deeper relationships with community organizations in my neighborhood and then also focus more on leadership development in my union and the workplace.
The Jugum scholarship will help me pay my tuition so I can focus more and participate more on the community service.
The Lera Bassett scholarship will allow me to continue my legal education in labor law. It also is connecting me with the Harry Bridges Labor Center in a completely new way. These kind of things build those bridges.